I'm going to show you a couple of things today. I'm going to show you where the notes are. So there's notes for this, and they're in the Skills Center folder in Moodle. So I'm going to show you where those notes are. But I'm briefly going to talk about four things. There is a software program available to you called Read and Write Gold. I won't teach you how to use these. I'm just going to give a kind of a presentation today, let you know they're there, and if you have follow-up questions then afterwards, you can always come back to me another day. So I'm just going to show you what Read and Write Gold is and what it might be able to do for you. There is a Microsoft app. There's a desktop version and a phone version. So I just want to introduce that app to you. You mentioned that you're already using Google Translate, and I'm just going to have a look at Google Docs. And if you have a Google account, if you have Gmail email account, you have access to Google Drive, which then gives you access to Google Docs. And there is some translation features in Google Docs that might be useful. And the last thing I'm going to very quickly talk about is Microsoft Word. Seeing as you're probably using Word for doing up a lot of your class assignments, I'm just going to look at one or two features in Word that might help with language. Now, what I will say, what you'll notice there is there's no software. I'm not introducing software there to teach English. So there's no kind of Babbel there or any of those kind of apps that are out there to help you learn a language. I'm not looking at those kind of things. So it wouldn't be an English class. There is an ESOL group. They meet with Lisa Cotter each week. If you're interested in meeting up with a group, I can put you in touch with Lisa. But these are just a couple of softwares that we have available to us in college that I think, as you said, you will be able to work 99% of the time understanding the words or the spoken word that's said, but it's just that 1% that there is some tools out there that might complement you using Google Translate. So there might be something in here that hopefully that you might kind of take away from and think, oh yeah, I might give that a go and see if that's worth trying out. So I'm going to start by showing you where the notes are. And I'm signing into Moodle. Once you're inside Moodle, I'm looking for the Skills Center folder. And what I'll actually do, I'll put a link in here to the ESOL guides. But the ESOL guides at the moment, they're inside the student toolkit. And I have them under, there's 4 sections. So you have your IRC using computers, academic support, and assistive technology. They're under assistive technology. Just come down to the end. And you have English as a second language. So this, inside the student toolkit, there's a note there that the student toolkit, it's available to you through the Moodle folder. And this is a website. So at the bottom of the website, if English isn't your first language, you can translate that website. So a lot of people will use Google to do this or Chrome to do this anyway. So you have features within Word and within Chrome and within Edge that will help with language. But if you're not using Chrome, and if you can translate from there as well. So you can choose your language from this list, and it'll translate the student toolkit for you. But other than that, we have your 4 main sections. You have Microsoft Translator, Microsoft Word, Google Docs, and Read and Write Gold. And actually, because you mentioned that you're using Google Translate, I'll start with Google Docs. Do you have a Gmail account, can I ask? You do? Okay. So if I go into the Google Docs, there is a guide here on showing you how to use a Google Doc for translation purposes. And there's a video there as well. Now, if the video is short, yeah, if it'll load. If it won't load quickly, I'll just move on. So it's under your tool menu. There's a translate option. You're choosing your language. And the nice thing about it is, other than the Google Translate that you're using, the Google Doc will translate the whole document in one go. There we go. So I'm going to create a new Google Doc. And the feature is under here, so translate. So you're typing away, and afterwards you can type that into, or you can translate that into English. Another interesting point that people may not recognize, not so much related to language translation, but the voice typing. A lot of people don't realize that there's dictation in Google Docs. So with the voice typing on, I can click that button, and anything I say verbally will get typed up into the document. So maybe that might help if typing, I know, like if I was having to type, I can speak a little bit of Spanish, but if I had to type up a report in Spanish, I might struggle with getting a flow in my sentences and a flow of thought going, but I could speak it much better. So maybe that might help as well. So there's two features. So I'm in Google Docs. There's two features there. You're translating and your voice typing. Okay, let me move on. I'm just going to very, very quickly skim through a couple of features. So you have Google Docs. The next thing I'm going to show you is Read and Write Gold. Now, Read and Write Gold is a software program. It is available in the college on all the PCs, and the icon is on the desktop, and it looks like this. If you try it in the college and you like it, you can also get it installed onto your own laptop. So you just need to contact us in the college and we'll get it installed into your laptop. I won't go through it in detail, but there's a half-hour guide there that you can watch. I'll just very, very quickly tell you what it is today, and then you can decide for yourself whether it's worth going in and watching this video. Now, let me see, I'll just download that. Let me just open that up so as I can zoom in a little bit. So when you open up Read and Write Gold, it opens up in a floating dialog box. So this blue band opens up on your desktop, and it hovers over any other program that you are using. So if you're typing into Microsoft Word, this blue band will appear above Microsoft Word. Why would an ESOL student, or a student whose language is not first language is not English, why would you want to use this? There's a couple of features in here that might be useful. First of all, you have a play button. A play button is going to read out any text to you. So if there is text on screen, whether it's from class notes in a Word document or a PDF or a PowerPoint or any websites, you can put your cursor into the text, you press play, and it will read it out to you. You can slow the voice down if you like, and you can put a pause in between each word. So again, maybe for English bodies of text that might be heavy to understand, if you're putting a pause in, it gives you time to take in each word in turn. So you can control how the text is read out to you. So there's a play button. The other thing that's in there, there's a couple of features, like the spell check is a little bit more advanced than the Microsoft Word spell check, in that the play button works in the spell check. So if you have 2 or 3 corrections and you need to choose which word is the correct word to use, but you're not 100% sure, you can have the word read out to you so you can hear it. But you can also have a dictionary definition of the word read out to you. So the fact that that spell check is linked to the dictionary, which Word doesn't do, and it's also linked to the play feature, which Word doesn't have, I'm thinking that might be useful to ESOL students. It has predictive text. So like your smartphone, it is guessing the word that you're typing. But the nice thing about the predictive text, if you're on an iPhone, you'd be very used to this. It will guess based on basic grammar, English grammar rules, what word could possibly come after the word that you're typing. So the predictive text might assist you in constructing your sentences. You have a dictionary, but you also have, which might be of use, is a homophone checker. So this little ear button. Now what I mean by a homophone is a word in English that sounds identical to another word. So let's say flour. I have flour that I could bake with, and I have flour that could be growing out in the field. To make sure that you're using the correct word in the proper context, the homophone checker, a little bit like a spell check, will go through your document and it will highlight any word that's a homophone and it will explain its proper use. You have a verb checker. So you can type in a verb. So let's say you type in the verb run. You can break it down in terms of its tense, its past tense, present, and future, and it'll break it down in terms of I ran, she ran, we ran, or we are running, we will run. So you have a verb checker. A couple of other features that might be of use. You can take, again, maybe for your class notes, if you want to complement reading your notes to hearing your notes read out to you, you can convert your notes, any notes that are given to you in PDF, Word document, PowerPoint, you can convert those notes into an audio file so that you can hear them read to you. It's a very simple process. You select the text, you click that button, it asks you to give it a file name and choose a location, and it creates an MP3 folder for you. Or an MP3 file, sorry. You can then email that file to yourself or open it up on your smartphone and you can listen to it. So Read and Write Gold. As I said earlier, this is a software program that is available on all the PCs in the college. It's got the RW icon on the desktop. And if you're interested in using it or interested in at least in trying it out, the college can install it into your laptop. Okay. Is that all right so far? Can I keep going? Look, and I will keep going. And if there is something of particular interest to you, you can stop me and we can kind of go over it in a little bit more detail.